All right, we're here at a Keymaster. We're going to replace this belt here. As you can see, the belt is almost non-existent. It's just strings there. I'll open it up and show you even closer, but yeah, that belt has seen better days. We've definitely let this belt go on way too long without getting replaced. Let's open up and take a closer look at it. All right, so let's check this out. So, oh my God, look at that. It is completely falling apart. You see the strings right here. So, it is definitely time to replace that. These are definitely bad. Anyway, so there is a few things down here. You can kind of see it right there. Almost looks like pepper. It's like almost like a powder. If you were to actually touch it with your finger or grab some, it would feel kind of gritty, almost like dirt. It's probably from the gear, the little bearing that's up here. It's probably starting to wear down, and that's what that is. It's the black grinding from this. I'm not 100% sure because I need to kind of pull this off and look at it before I can say, yeah, it needs to be replaced. That's a good chance it's probably just dirt, and that's it. And it could be just, black dust from just this. So, but regardless, we're going to replace the belt. So I got the new belt. Let's start taking this apart and replace the belt. All right, let's take it apart. All right, so taking this belt off is really easy. You have these screws right here. As you can see, it's got all these little notches in here that these little actual teeth will kind of sit in, and that's how it kind of locks in place. And then, of course, you will have adjustments to do up here. You're going to loosen these, and everything will be nice and loose, and there's a certain tightness it has to be. But that is the way you would have to remove it right there. Remove these screws, this will completely come apart. You can take the belt off completely, then you can investigate the bearing to see if that needs to be replaced or not. You will have to mess with these adjustments, get yourself a little tiny wrench. That way we can do that, that'll be easy. But right now, let's just go ahead and remove the old belt. And of course, we definitely have to clean things up. As you can see, there's a lot of dirt here and stuff. So this, actually, I'm starting to think that this is more of just crud that's fallen off the belt and not the bearing. It doesn't really feel like metal. So hopefully we're lucky on that. Anyways, let's take it apart so we can put the new belt on. All right, so got the little plate off, got the little screws off. This is all disconnected now. Now we can just literally just remove it and take it off. And get it out of here. That is pretty bad. So we got the new belt. Let's just go ahead and install the new belt and get this over with. All right, so I removed the little bearing here. I wanted to take it out to look at it. It doesn't look like it's bad, but I'm going to replace it anyways because see how nice it rolls. It has a nice long spin to it, which is, to me, a good sign. But comparing it to the new one, and this is brand new, it feels tighter. It feels just smoother, better, even heavier. I feel like it's got a little bit more weight than the other one. So I'm going to replace that anyways. So I'm glad I removed it. So the way to remove these bad boys is you got to lower these screws. This bottom screw locks the bolt in place, and then you can adjust it by using these little screws up and down. So I will back them both out in the middle, and then I can just kind of unscrew it. You will have to go from one end to this end to that end to that end until you get it off, because if you just try to unscrew it all the way, you're just going to bend it, and it's just going to bind up on you. So just do one at a time, a little bit at a time, all the way around until it comes off, and then this piece will just fall right out. It just sort of sits in there like that. There's nothing really to hold it in besides this piece right here. That's what would hold it in. So let's just remove that, and we're going to go ahead and put the new one in there because I think it'll be better. Plus, it makes it easier for us to put the belt actually back in, so that we can kind of put everything back together. So let's go ahead and put this in, put the belt on. I'll lock everything in place, and then we'll bolt everything back together, and then we'll have to adjust the tension on the actual belt. So let's go ahead and put this back together. All right, so everything is back together. This is back on. This is back on. I have not adjusted anything yet. Everything is still in the center. See, my screws are still in the center. So that way I can manipulate them going up and down and be able to adjust this. So now we have to adjust the belt here, so that way it's not so floppy like this. We're gonna need to make it tight, but it's not gonna be super tight where we can't bend it. We wanna be able to kind of like flex it enough to get it to come together like that, slightly, like that. Not too much. And I'm not talking about where we have to force it. You know, if we can just kind of pinch it and get it together like that, that should be tight enough. You know, we don't have to smash it together, just kind of like enough like that. That should be tight enough. But right now it's super floppy, so we're just gonna have to tighten it. So we do it a little bit at a time. You gotta screw a little bit, screw this side, then the corner, then this corner, then that corner. That way it all goes up evenly. You don't want to kind of crooked or unaligned, because then this will start to wear out. It'll wear the bearing out, and then you'll have to start the whole process over again. So you want to try and make this as even as possible. You don't have to be so critical by getting a measurement and a ruler out and measure everything, but you have to at least kind of eyeball it and get it nice and even. So let's go ahead and adjust it. I'll even turn the game on so that way we can have a better light. All right, so I think I have it adjusted pretty good. It feels nice and tight. As you can see, I said you can close it together. I mean, I'm not really forcing it, using a lot of finger muscle. I'm just kind of squeezing it a little bit. And I can tell by the time I get to that closed area right there, it starts to get tight, which to me seems pretty good. It seems pretty good. So the way I did is I tightened this corner first, and then the back corner first, diagonally. I got it to where I needed to be tight. So now what I gotta do is I gotta adjust this screw and the other screw over here, so that way at least they're at the same height and at the same level, and then I can tighten all the little nuts down and stuff like that, and it should be good. And then we can test it. And if we have to do another adjustment, the machine will tell us, because it'll bounce around and it'll just won't work correctly. So the machine will tell you that your adjustment is not on point. So like I said, go ahead and adjust it, make sure the belt's nice. I feel like this is pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other screws, the other corner ones, and button it down and test it and see what happens. All right, so I finished adjusting it. I think the belt's good to go. I did not tighten everything up here. So what I did was I sort of just made those two little nuts finger tight. I just kind of used my finger just to kind of lay it there, so it's not really tight. I can literally unscrew it with my finger. I just did that just as a precaution so it doesn't move around on me. So I'm going to test it right now. We'll see if it goes up. So it should go across and then go up and down and do its little self-calibrating. And hopefully the belt is good without me having to readjust it. Nice and smooth, nice and quiet. And this, what it's doing right here, it's doing a calibration. It's calibrating itself, not like the other calibration where we're trying to get it to the hole. It's just letting itself know where everything is. And as long as its calibration is good, then it should work correctly. So it is good to go. That's it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and tighten those screws up there and be done with it. So yeah, hopefully this helps you, and that is it. That's how you change the belt, tighten it, and everything. Well, thanks for watching. One last thing before I forget, make sure you tighten these down. Make sure they're nice and tight. One on the bottom, one on the top. That's it. Thanks for watching.